You're going live.
Well, hello everybody. Not sure who's all. We have the chat up on our phones and stuff, but we'll give it about a few seconds here. We got at least two. That's us.
Yeah.
Um, we'll have the live chat there too. So, whoops. Make sure you turn down the sound.
Yes, that would be good.
First ever live.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we're waiting here. I've already go ahead and get ready to do this.
Okay.
And
We will keep an eye on the chat room.
well, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Episode 45.
Yeah.
You know?
The year anniversary.
Yeah.
Wow. Already a year.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that about a year ago that this would have went? You know.
So.
We never thought it would go like that a year ago.
No.
But here we are.
Oh, yeah.
And all right, well, let's just get her running and we'll go from there. And if anybody jumps in, we'll have them give us a deal. So I guess as normal, 10 seconds of silence and then we'll start.
All right.
Welcome to Use and Abuse the Music Podcast. I'm Scott.
And I'm Kim.
And to all you watching on YouTube, welcome. This is episode 45. Today we're going to be talking about our first anniversary of the Use and Abuse podcast. But before we do, let's find out what is our 5-star review. And this is posted on iTunes April 2nd, 2019 by Big Lovin', titled Passion. He reviewed it by saying, and I quote, a husband wife duo and their passion for the music they love. Good stuff, end quote. Also, at the end, he did do a thumbs up emoji. Thanks, Big Lovin'. Now, let's move on to this day in music history. Today is Friday, April 19th, 2019, and in
1969, Smile, later to be known as Queen, appeared at the Revolution Club in London, England.
The Beach Boys' excellent cover of the Ronettes' 1966 hit, I Can Hear Music, peaks at number 24 on the Hot 100. The Ronettes' version stalled at number 100.
Glenn Campbell was at number 1 on the Billboard Country Singles chart with the Jimmy Webb song Galveston, which also made number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2003. This song ranked number 8 in CMT's 100 Greatest Songs in Country Music.
Station break. And by the way, that's going to be our new thing instead of sidebar. We're going to go station break. So we're going into a station break. And the reason why I want to do this is because my mom had this on LP. And over time, this album got destroyed. So eventually we need to get it back. Now, back to our regular scheduled program. And in
1979, David Lee Roth collapsed from exhaustion during a Van Halen show in Spokane, Washington. And in
2009, the Flaming Lips celebrate Earth Day with a performance on the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
That is music history for April 19th.
And last week in music news, April 11th,
CMA Fest officially begins on June 6th. However, the Grand Ole Opry will be getting things kick-started on June 4th with a free afternoon party on the Opry Plaza, followed by 2 ticketed shows at 7 and 9:30 p.m. That will feature Carrie Underwood, Travis Tritt, Chris Jansen, and more. Tickets are on sale now at Opry.com.
April 12th, Gary Stewart, veteran of Rhino Records and Apple Music, passes away at 62.
April 13th, AC/DC will absolutely tour again with second singer Brian Johnson, according to radio DJ Eddie Trunk. Johnson replaced original AC/DC singer Bon Scott. After Scott's death, February 19th, 1980, Johnson was replaced with Guns N' Roses singer Axl Rose. After Johnson was forced off stage due to issues that threatened his hearing for good, longtime AC/DC engineer Mike Frazier confirmed earlier this week that the rock legends had been in the studio recording.
April 14th, Bruce Springsteen took the stage for the first time in 2019 with photographer Danny Clinch and his Tanglers Blues Band at New York's Tribeca Grill on Saturday night at a benefit supporting the Kristen and Carr Fund.
April 15th, Brantley Gilbert will hit the road this summer on his Not Like Us tour, starting in Cincinnati, Ohio. On June 20th, Gilbert will be joined by opening acts Michael Ray and Lindsay E.L. And I quote, "I'm trying to open things up, but keep bringing the intensity. I think Michael really gets how guys feel and rolls into a sound that's all his own. And Lindsay, man, the only thing better than that way she sings is the way she plays that guitar. I'm really fired up to be bringing both these folks out on the road this fall because I know they're going to give the BG Nation something that's gonna lift them up, throw them down, and make them glad they got there early." End quote, says Gilbert. Additional dates will be announced soon.
April 16th, Dropkick Murphys announced U.S. tour with Clutch and Hatebreed. The tour kicks off September 20th in Springfield, Massachusetts at the Mass Mutual Center and ends October 15th in Seattle, Washington at the WAMU Theater with Dropkick Murphys, Clutch, and Russ Rankin of Good Riddance, as Hatebreed will finish the tour the night before on October 14th in Boise, Idaho at Outlaw Field at the Idaho Botanical Garden. Go to dropkickmurphys.com for more information.
April 17th, Luke Bryan will help host ABC's 2019 NFL Draft opening day coverage on April 25th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific.
Another good week in music news. Always enjoy tour announcements. Now, music purchases this week. Got this at Goodwill on April 13th, 2019, with vinyl record. And it's Kenny Rogers Kenny. Now, this album here has on the last track is Coward of the County, and it just helps us get one more album in his collection that we needed. Not a big week for music purchases, just something we were looking for to help with our collection. Now, let's get on with the show. Yes, that was a Motley Crue plug.
I figured that. I figured it was Motley Crue plug. Those of you on our YouTube can start submitting questions in the chat. I will be watching the chat.
All right, so mainly what we're here for today. We're just here to celebrate the year anniversary of the podcast. 1 year ago today, April 19th, 2018, I released an overview episode, which is kind of ironic because it was meant to be a trailer. It wasn't like meant to be an episode, but Anchor just automatically released it as an episode. So it should have really just been called episode 1. However, I didn't realize that at the time. So that's why, well, you guys don't see it, but actually you do it when you see that, like, we have like 40. Well, right now we have technically 45 episodes released, but we're actually on episode 45 because we don't count the overview. But anyways, it got released as a trailer, but it was early on in podcasting and it's something I eventually learned. I got a lot more stuff to learn than what I just learned last year. There's a lot more to learn now. Now, why I called it Used and Abused in Music Podcast? Well, the reason why I called it Used and Abused was due to the fact of, you know, when you buy an album, regardless if it was on cassette, record, uh, 45, if you bought a single, CD, you know, those, the formal media themselves, and except for like LPs, you really couldn't take those with you. But cassette tapes and CDs got beat up, they got used, and they got abused. You know, versus we were taking them out on with the Sony cassette Walkman with the cassette tapes, or if you're walking around with your Sony Walkman CD player, you could have dropped your CD, put a scratch in it, or drop your cassette. But eventually over time, even cassettes will the the no what the lettering will rub off on a cassette after a lot of use. I have a few cassettes like that now. Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack is like that really bad because I listen to that a lot. So, and that's the reason why I went with Used and Abused, because I mean, everyone uses their music, at least their physical copies. Obviously you can't do it digitally, but I mean, most of us would beat up iPods, MP3 players back when they were popular. Uh, Unless you have physical albums nowadays, you really don't beat them up. The only things we really don't beat up is our movies, because most of us keep our movies in on a shelf, and they get put away the minute they get after you get done watching the movie, you put it right back away. But I just thought, you know what, using abuse sounds like a great idea for a podcast, and I just decided to add in the semicolon with a music podcast just to make it unique and to make sure it was easier to find on when you were searching for it. Now, as far as the cover art goes, most of you have seen the back cover. You've seen it, and there's on that cover there is a record, and it's kind of purple. It's this one right here. As you see, this sucker has been beat up, used and abused, literally. And if I don't have none of the sleeves anymore, and one of these, and it's wrong one. Well, I mean, get it. I don't know how well it show, you know, but it might show it in the light. But it's been pretty beat up by a young 7, 8 year old child myself. Now on this record here, where is it? Right there. You can't really hear it, but we'll show it right here on the video on the YouTube. Now it is broken. It's been cracked, split. So I mean, I was kind of bummed. I mean, it was an older album. It was just a one that they did where they added a bunch, pretty much the greatest hits, but it was all concert performances of Elvis. But last year we found a cheap Elvis package online, which ended up getting us a newer copy. And it does have the inner sleeves. So the records are protected. So I will have the opportunity to listen to this properly without it being messed up like my first version is. But that's the reason why I included that as the cover art for Used and Abused, because it showed something used and abused.
Yes, it did.
Now, the thing with Used and Abused is I wanted it to be like I was talking to a friend. When I talk to my friends about new albums and stuff, either one, I played them the album. Obviously, I can't do that on here without forking out a bunch of money because of, the copyright. So I really can't. I'm not going to take a chance of getting hit with lawsuits for playing copyrighted music. So other than that, all you could do was describe to your friends what you were hearing, and that's where my idea, instead of doing a review podcast, which I don't have problems with review, because I mean well, not just last episode, but we did a dirt review.
Yes, we did. A Motley Crue dirt review.
We did the dirt review for the movie, The Dirt. I don't have a problem with doing these reviews.
And we may
But
do more in the future.
I would rather do a where I break down and I tell you what I'm hearing from the music. Regardless if it's something by Motley Crue, if it's something by, well, I mean, obviously episode number one, after the overview, I talked about Motley Crue a lot in the overview that everyone, at least in the early days of it, everyone assumed I was that first real episode was going to be about Motley Crue, was going to be Motley Crue.
Yes, they did, and you
changed
it up.
I threw him for a loop, and I went with Tennessee Ernie Ford.
Yes, you
with
did.
the gospel album, which is kind of interesting. Haven't done any. I mean, we've found some of his other stuff at our local thrift stores and stuff, but I didn't want. I mean, it was like, you build it to here, you built it up, and you're building it up, and you're making everybody realize, okay, this is where you're going, and then you swerve them.
Yes, you do.
Or you throw a curveball.
Yes.
That proverbial curveball.
Yes.
But that's the reason why on episode one I didn't put, and I still have. The funny thing is I believe somewhere in episode one, I mentioned that I was going to go back eventually and retitle it. Episode one, Tennessee Ernie Ford, and I never have.
No, you haven't.
I've left it as it is. Episode one.
Yeah.
I've never gone back and retitled it. So, that's just something I've decided not to do. I think I mentioned it in the first episode, but I didn't worry about it by then. But yeah, so now the next kind of point I want to hit on, why isn't this, obviously this is a year pod, the 1 year ago I released the show. Now this should be episode either 52 or 53.
Yes, it should.
Again, if it was, based off the overview, it would be 52. Or it would be 53 if the overview would have been counted as, if I would have counted that as episode one. I went through a period last summer, and last summer I went through a period where, it was it started about went like 3 or, almost a month. Actually, I think it was a couple times I went a month before I released an episode.
Yes, it did.
And I got out of the, I don't know. I guess I don't even know. I wasn't taking it fully serious, No, we got anybody in the chat?
Not yet.
Okay, well, if you're in the chat, throw out any questions you want.
Yeah.
We'll answer whatever we can.
Yes.
Anyways, back to and those for you that are on the audio podcast, on the audio version that you're going to hear this on Friday. Obviously, we were on YouTube Live, so it's our first time going live. So we'll see where it goes from there. Don't like we're going very far with it, so
no, it
might
don't.
be the first and only time it happens.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so that's why this isn't, episode 52 or 53. I missed a bunch, and then I made. Then of course, I had the. I knew was by September last year, I knew I might be leaving. With the birth of my granddaughter at any moment. Well, I procrastinated on getting a bunch of episodes put together where the night before I left for, to go up north to be with my daughter and also my granddaughter after her birth, I pretty much had to stay up at night and had to make enough episodes to run through the year.
Yes, you did. I remember that. It was an all-night project for you.
It was an all-night project. I literally finished what, half an hour before you had to leave for work?
Yeah, you did.
It was crazy.
And I work in the morning, so
at that time was that back?
That was before the clocks changed, so I was still having to go in at 6.
Yeah, so you were getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Yes, or no, about 4:45.
Yeah, 4:45. Yeah.
Did you leave at 5:30? You would have left at 5:30 back then.
Yep.
Anyways, so that's the reason why this isn't 52 or 53.
And just so you know, when this originally first started, it was Scott's idea, and then he'll probably go over this. And then later I came in to be the co-host
Well,
because
I think most of them know that you later came in.
So
We've only got a few new listeners.
Yeah,
you know.
we'll touch back with this history of what happened over the year of exactly what started me wanting to be the co-host.
Well, I mean, you want to know that, all you have to do is go back to the first episode of this year, the interview I did with you.
Yes, but also I did that Mount St. Helens with you too.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, right, and since you're bringing that up, let's go ahead and get into our favorite moments from for the podcast for the last year. Now, obviously, you're going to have moments of being a listener for most of it.
Yes, I was actually a listener for most of it.
And again, probably my first favorite moment, obviously was one starting the podcast. And really, before we actually get into the favorite moment, actually, no, this is going to be part of a favorite moment. So one of the favorite moments last year was when I first started talking about doing podcasting. We started really looking into YouTube videos and really looking things up. And we were getting Audacity set up on a laptop. We were getting things figured out what we're really going to need to do this. And literally, I put in for a contest for Beat headphones with our local Fox station. I knew nothing about this grand prize they had going on. I just wanted to win the Beats by Dr. Dre headphones. I was going to give them to my son because I knew he wanted a pair of Beats. So I figured, what the heck, if I want them, next time I saw him, I'd give them to him. And so I put in for it. I didn't even think about that you actually might want to watch the newscast of CV1.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
figured I wouldn't win anyway, so I'll put it in. So come like that next Monday, I get a phone call from said station, and they're informing me that I won the grand prize. And went, oh, and they want to know, did you know you won the grand prize? And I said, no, I didn't know. And so we set up a time to come in. Went to the station, and they actually did some investigating back on their Facebook page to figure out what the heck the grand prize was. And it was this, it was what was it? An Apple desktop home recording studio.
It was, yes.
I'm like, what the frig is this? So then I go down, pick it up, and like, oh my goodness, came with the Apple Mini, the Mac Mini, came with the keyboard, mouse, the monitor. It came with a Focusrite audio interface, and it came with one condenser mic.
Yes, it did.
Which, okay, cool. We got the right microphone. We're good. Well, if you've been listening to this podcast since the beginning, you will know that eventually we purchased just regular dynamic microphones. There's one I'm currently using. I'm trying to get into the screen, but it's not, but it probably just messed the sound all up, but my bad.
You had it in the screen,
well,
sweetie.
I know it did. But that was just stuff that we learned throughout the year. So that was probably the first favorite one. We won this computer, and it was obviously, it just like, okay, I'm supposed to podcast.
Yes.
And I mean, if you go back to listen to those early episodes, and I still stutter here and there and have moments, but if you really go back to those early episodes, it's really bad because I've always decided that this episode or this show is more we call it's more scripted. So even like when we do our breakdowns, and I know it's been a while since we've done a breakdown.
Yeah, it has.
But when we do our breakdowns, I type that all on my notes in my iPhone, and then I transfer it, and then I make sure it's semi-ly, and sometimes I forget to proofread it. I try to remember to proofread this a little bit better now, but it does get messed up, and it does get out of context. And I'm going, and as we're doing the show, I'm like, what the heck was I saying here? But that's stuff. And before I would go through and take out all the breaks and all the pausing and the gaps, but I just decided, what's the use? And I'm gonna cough, so Excuse me. Sorry about that. It blew the heck out of the mics. But just it was just one of those things. Yeah. And so it's is what it is. But so yeah. And obviously this is one of those episodes, and this is why I don't do off the top of my head episodes, because my wife can tell you flat out when I'm doing stuff off the top of my head, I will be talking about one thing, and then I could turn and start going this direction. Then I'll turn and go that direction. Then I'll go this direction, and then back, and then over here, then over here, and then eventually come back around to what I was talking about.
Yes, he will.
And
I will tell you yes.
And it can honestly be, one talking point could be a 30-minute friggin'. I could talk for 30 minutes before I finished up with what I was saying.
Yes, you could.
So, anyways, so that was, obviously the first favorite moment. One of the other favorite moments was deciding to, do May the 4th.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of like, you know what, I'm going to start doing if the day, with the day that we release the podcast, if something falls on that day that is like May the 4th, that's it's pretty much known as a Star Wars day.
Yes,
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And right after that, May 18th also fell on a Friday.
Yes, it did.
And those people who live in Oregon and in Washington State, that is, really know about Mount St. Helens and its eruption on May 18th, 1980. And when we did that episode, like a couple weeks before that or something, we had found this record, the one about Harry Truman, the in memory of Harry Truman in Mount St. Helens, that actually got released up in the Oregon area, because the one I can't remember which of the Harry Truman songs, but one of them was on the radio station in McMinnville, Oregon. And I remember listening to it on the radio back in 1980. And, so getting that and listening to that and getting that album in to actually listen to it and do it. Well, I ended up including you on that episode.
Yes,
which is your first time being on the show. But back then, you kind of did the same thing I did.
Yes, I did.
Broke down the music. And then, fast forward to this year, roughly second or third episode in January.
Yes, is when the interview took place.
Well, the first one of the year was the interview.
Yes.
Then it's either the second or third show of that you joined, because you said it would be a month.
Yes, I did.
And then next thing I know is you're giving me, because the next episode, I think I did it by myself, but you would give me notes on what the lyrics were about. And that just made me think, oh my gosh, we just found what your part of the show is going to be. Yes. You're going to break down the lyrics on what you heard, what the lyrics were telling you.
Yes.
Obviously, a lot of times people get different things. They're going to get different things from the lyrics.
They are.
They're not going to be. Everybody doesn't get the same stuff from the lyric.
No, they don't.
She may take, like, let's just use Motley Crue as an example. The song "Shout at the Devil." She might take the fact that, okay, you're shouting at the devil, where I might be like, oh man, listen to all the destruction in there. And that's just two different views on a song.
Yes, it is.
And that's the one thing is, hey, this show is our opinion.
Yes, it is.
And I've got a saying for opinions, but I still try to keep this a family-friendly show. Yes. So I won't try to give away that. I won't give that much away, but y'all, most of you should know what the heck. But anyways, what favorite moment you got
for the year?
Yeah, I mean,
well, other than doing that Mount St. Helens one with you,
that was actually the part 2 episode.
Yeah, that was the part 2 episode.
It was gonna be it was like I gave it so much information just on Mount St. Helens that it wasn't even a music podcast at that point.
No,
it wasn't even a music episode. It was all about the history. It was all about the May 18th eruption.
Yes, it was. And then part 2 of that was the Harry Truman song compilation.
Right. It was about about that album.
Yeah, about the album, which for that, the reason why I think it was my favorite is because I had just listened to it for the very first time, and then my opinion on lyrics just came flowing out on what I was actually hearing in each of the lyrics. Now, I before that, I did actually enjoy just putting my earbuds in and listening to it because I enjoy listening to podcasts. So I really enjoy listening to it. Now I don't know if you want to discuss this or not, but the other favorite moment I have is when we did that Jordan Brooker, I think it was his EP,
Okay.
and he actually contacted us back
Right.
and thanked us. And I can't remember all of what it was, but he thanked us for doing the lyrics, and I think he said it was a good take on what the lyrics were saying. So that was really cool that
Oh,
he actually contacted
I
us.
don't, guess I don't have it saved anymore. Oh, we're just on the picture. All right,
Yeah,
well,
we're
keep.
getting
What
information.
else you got? What other favorite moments you got?
Well, the other favorite moment is last weekend when we went to a festival down here, and I got to see one of my bands that I listen to, All for One, and I was up front, could hear them, could see them, and really enjoyed doing the review on that concert because it might have sounded like I was on something, but I really was not. I was just so wound up and excited that I actually got to go to a concert for the first time that the emotions kind of came through at that time. And then I also enjoyed doing the movie review too of Motley Crue's The Dirt, and I hope we can do more reviews on movies in the future if they're like dealing with music. But that was a fun episode too. So
Well, I mean, on that one, I think we're getting ready to do one here soon. Um, here late. Yeah, soon. What's it called? Eddie and the Cruisers, where
yeah,
you've never seen the movie. I mean, I want to do the soundtrack, but you've never seen the movie, so it's like, well, maybe we need to do something. And I've got to go through the used and abused Facebook
yes.
page. So, you know,
We're
so
going through
keep
the
talking, or
used and
otherwise.
abused Facebook page. He's
So,
getting the information on Jordan Brooker.
so what else? What else you got?
Well, I just like it. It gives me something to do outside of work. So I really I like music, so I like sitting there and listening to it and actually concentrating on what I do best, and that is the lyrics. I usually don't listen to the background rhythm or the instruments. The first thing I listen to is the lyrics. So I really enjoy just being able to just concentrate on the lyrics and giving my opinion on what I think, what I'm hearing, what my insight is on it, and how just how my insight is on each of the songs. And yes, it's just my personal insight. It doesn't mean that it's everybody's insight, but it is my opinion. I also like just doing the because each week we do something different, and I think what it and just doing things different is what really is so amazing. Because one week we'll do like the genre country, then the next week we'll do like heavy metal, and then the next week we'll do like uh we haven't done R&B and pop yet. We haven't done an album from that, but it's just the different genres that
No,
we
instead we went to an All for One concert and talked. And I don't know. I mean, we went with a set list. I mean, obviously we got the set list. I mean, that was probably that's a highlight of my life right now. I mean, not really my life, but as far as music goes, music going to concerts and stuff. I mean, I tried to get, in 2005 when Motley Crue was on their Red, White, and Crew Better Off Live Than Dead tour, when they had reunited before they called it the Carnival of Sins. I tried to get a friggin' set list, but they were giving it to other people,
yeah.
and so this is my first time I'd ever gotten a set list. And but yeah, so you know But back to that Jordan Brooker again. He messaged us on on our Instagram page, and just said at you. And actually, what he did, he put it in his story on his Instagram page. It was at Use and Abuse Pod. Y'all went deep on this one. Thanks for the love. And then the horns.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that was just like crazy. Like, holy crap, that's never happened. I mean, he was, I mean, first artist that's ever done that for us. And so far, the only artist that's done that for us.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I hate me got an itchy nose.
Oh, I know. That's not good when you have an itchy nose.
No, it's not. But, so yeah, I mean, that was really freaking cool too. Now you get caught up on live. Only problem about using your phone.
Oh, I know.
And
And
anyways,
the other thing I liked this year is when we actually went to the Midnight at the Oasis and did our feelings on how we liked that the car show, and what we thought about the band that we could hear. So
oh
that
yeah,
was that was so fun
I
to
mean,
do that.
I guess, I know I kind of griped about it, and it was more my fault for doing it, for procrastinating, and that was the problem with all. And this, I mean, kind of being away, and I guess this is where it's not really a favorite moment, but something I've learned over this last year was being away kind of made me understand the need to stay on top of the show, you know. And so in 2019, we were really, if we don't record an episode, you're gonna hear, you'll get maybe a 5-10 minute friggin' episode about why we're not having an episode drop. You know, and if we go on vacations or we leave where we're not gonna be able to be on the show at that moment, we will again we'll drop a 5-10 minute episode just saying, hey, this is how long we're gonna be gone. When we return, we'll get some episodes up. But I
Yes.
mean, we'll try to get some you know, pre-taped, ready to go. So all I have to do is just dump them in, and it'll probably be just like I did last year, where where we just didn't give an episode number, and
Yeah.
probably more likely, like, 'cause I know, I mean, that's one of the things we got to do this year too, is because I said it when I was gone that I would do the official list
Yes, you
of my
did.
unofficial list.
Yes.
So maybe we can, if we need to, you know, if we're not prepared, ready for an album or something, maybe we can do one of those. But I really haven't even thought about favorite lists yet. But a lot of things I do want to start doing a little bit more music review on the YouTube channel. And also, we might even drop those as episodes too. I don't know. It might take away from it being included in the next show. How we do right now, where we do the current stuff on the episode. But so that might become its own show if we get to where we're getting a lot of records again, getting a lot of stuff. But it really just depends. Um, the other thing that we're trying to think, is there anything else? Any other really favorite moment? I mean, the whole year has been a favorite moment.
Yeah, for me too.
I mean, there's been periods where it's like, I mean, you remember from like especially last summer, I was going through the period where it was like, I wasn't listening, wasn't really doing what I needed to do. I wasn't listening to music, and it was almost like wondering if I should even continue to, but the problem was I was having fun.
Yeah, and if you're having fun, that's the best reason
Right.
to do a podcast is having fun at
Right.
it.
Well, yeah, if you're not having fun, what's the use of doing it? I know
Exactly.
one thing I want to do though
What?
is next year when we get closer to tacos and tunes,
Yes.
or tunes and tacos, whatever the heck it's called again. I'm gonna shoot out an invite to Esther Ledlow from Once Upon a Crime, and talking about tacos podcast, or talking about what is it? Taco about true crime is what it is.
Okay.
She does the Once Upon a Crime podcast, and then she started a new one called Taco about True Crime.
Okay.
but I want to definitely like shoot her and invite, you know, have I don't know where she actually is at, but hey, come down to Yuma, Arizona, for this taco festival. She might come.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be cool.
she might. Yeah, it would.
But yeah. So I'm not really sure. It looks like I'm not seeing anybody in the chat, so obviously let's just go ahead and move on. And this is where even uh, if anybody does jump in the chat, you can still participate. Um, but let's go ahead and start going to the next one, and that's where we and you, our listeners, hope we take the podcast in the future. Now, again, if there's anybody in the chat, you can answer in the chat, or
You can answer.
and then our audio listeners can answer on any of our social media platforms,
Yeah,
or email us, as those all, and as always, those will be provided at the end of this episode.
yeah, and if you have any special requests that you want us to do, go ahead and if you are in the chat tonight, go ahead and shoot out those requests to us. Yeah, again, all of our social media platforms will be uh, announced at the end of this episode. So any of you that want to email us, post anything on our Facebook, go ahead. Give us ideas of where you would like us to take our podcast. We're open
Well,
to
kind of like
ideas.
yeah, where you hope we take it, and also where what you like where what would you like to see us do? Now, this is usually a touchy subject with a lot of podcasts, and that is, you know, getting advertisements.
Yes.
Now we have an opportunity with Anchor to include advertisements into our podcast, which would, I mean, I'm sure it ain't going to give us a lot, because I mean, most podcasts are getting about 3,000 to 4,000 downloads per episode. We're not getting that, and obviously we haven't looked at the analytics yet of this one, which we will here in just a minute. Um, anyways, where one of the things I really want to take is I want to try to get some interviews done. Now, obviously, that takes time, that takes preparation, that also takes moments of figuring it out.
Yes, it does.
Now, I think I've got a pretty good idea with Skype, but the problem is that doesn't help with a YouTube live show.
No, it don't.
So, and then the problem is I did see on Google Plus, when I looked in, or not Google Plus, Google Hangouts, that they're getting rid of their opportunity, the ability to go into YouTube in
Okay.
Google Hangouts, which I'm like, oh, that's great. So
Yeah.
this just really messes everything up. So I know I want to start doing interviews, because I mean, I got Rich. I want to get on the podcast. We definitely want to get Eric and Shane Marlette from Peace, Love, and Destruction on the show. And again, there's Chris Calhoun or CC Sticks, buddy of mine, drums for a long time. Get him on the show. And then we can start going from there. And get people on to talk about music. Plus, I've got want to get eventually do the Pet Sounds episode with Dave and Jason from All Things Star Wars. I want to have Jason also on, and I'm thinking maybe I'll have to talk to him about this, but maybe we can get it for not WrestleMania. WrestleMania's past.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam is doing a wrestling theme, top 10 wrestling theme songs.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Now, I don't know how well you're going to be able to participate in that, because
Hey, I can participate.
okay, well,
I've got some.
okay. Well, I mean, you just may not have 10.
Yeah, you're right. I may not have 10, but I do have.
But I mean,
some.
so there's a couple things there, and um, you know, so what are you kind of looking forward in the future?
Just exactly what you said. Just more, you know, interviews.
Well, I mean, one thing would be great, and I hate to cut you off, and sorry
No
about that.
problem.
Is I hate to have us. I want to get us one of those portable recorders.
Yes, portable recorders. So,
So we
if
can we do live episodes
episodes,
or
yeah.
go do shows and stuff. And
Yeah.
oh, look, Hannah Banana's in the chat. Hi, Hannah.
Hi.
That's funny. So, but yeah, I mean, and Hannah, I mean, speaking of my daughter jumping in the chat, you know, and knowing she's watching now, she has given us a lot of, you know, like the King Browns and the Luke Combs and whatever the newest one was she sent me. I still haven't listened to. That was like 3 months ago. I have it written down. I really do in the notes section of on my iPhone. So, but yeah, I mean, the biggest thing would be like, you know, like last weekend, you know, Bells do those record and interview. You know, we could have maybe set up a deal where we could have interviewed all for one. What?
Oh, just what Hannah put in the chat.
Well, that's the whole point, you know.
Safety suit. Jeez, LOL.
Safety suit. Okay, well, hey, you know, we're all busy, but and Hannah, if you got any questions you want to shoot at us, you can shoot any of them. Aunt Kim is watching the chat a little bit as much as I am, but right now we're just kind of going over what we want to go with. What?
Oh, she just said, I don't want to hear it, LOL.
You don't want to hear what?
Do you want me to ask her?
No, I just asked her so she can answer it.
Okay.
I see okie dokie, LOL. Oh, the LOLs.
That's...
We are all busy.
Yeah.
That's true.
It is true.
That is true. Very true. Hey, grab that real quick since she's back on here.
Okay.
The one we just picked up this last weekend. Old school. Oh yeah, hit the microphone.
Sorry, that probably messed up the microphone. I apologize.
I don't know how well it's showing up.
It
is so delayed. There's such a delay.
Yeah, it is. There it is.
This got Coward of the County on it.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, yeah, Hannah, what is that? A big CD.
She said nice.
Yep, exactly. All right, anyway, so well, at least we got one person in the chat. That's kind of
yes.
Cool. Thank you, Hannah, for coming in the chat. What?
She just put a big CD. Ha ha.
Yeah, she knows. I mean,
I know.
That was cute and funny back in the day. It's still cute and funny because I still tease her about it.
Yes, you do.
And so that's my life. That's my thing. I can do no problem. All right. So yeah. So really, just want to do interviews. You know.
Yeah.
I know when. I guess we're talking the end of August. You know, we might have visitors here, and when we do have these visitors here, the visitors spit it out. Will be put on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yes, visitors will be on the podcast.
Now, are these visitors very well aware of this?
Maybe.
Okay.
If not, they'll figure it out then.
Okay.
But so you got anything else you think that we could be doing for the coming year to our 2nd year anniversary? I mean, now you're gonna be really involved in this show.
Yes, I am.
So you got anything you really want to do? I mean, is there like any albums that you really want to hit this year? I mean, I know we got lists somewhere. Of like next 60 episodes.
Yes, we do. No, there's actually no albums that I have in particular, other than maybe doing some All for One, maybe some New Kids on the Block, some of their albums. Yes, I know you were waiting for that.
I mean, I don't want to do All for One. I mean, I like All for One, but really, New Kids?
Well, we can do the Hangin' Tough album.
I'll do the Hangin' Tough song.
Okay.
About the only. Yeah.
Well, it's just an idea.
I mean, we will. Well, of course we'll do it. I mean, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know you are.
I'm just giving you a hard time. You know, I mean, The whole point is try to do, main thing is just trying to mix it up, between country, rock, pop, 60s classic, like that. What?
Hannah just said they are now aware that they're going to be on the podcast.
Good. But, so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're going to take show where we take it. Again, if you have any ideas or you have anything you want us to listen to, again, hit us up with us on our social media links. We have the Facebook page now, we got our Twitter, Instagram. Well, you really can't hit us on it. Well, you can send private message on Instagram, and you can email us again, like always on all these shows. We do it at the end of the show, which we probably should start doing at the beginning of the show. I don't know. I like it at the end.
I do too.
Just because I know that's like where I skip them on other podcasts.
Yeah, at the end is actually a better place to put it.
I listen to way too many podcasts.
Oh, you and I both. Of course, you got more than I do because I only have very few. And we found that out when I did my episode for my top 5 podcasts.
Right, you could only do 5.
Yes.
I had like 50 to choose 10 from.
Yeah. So that was another moment that I rather enjoyed doing that podcast.
It was just like, we don't have nothing for this week. We weren't prepared. But so we just did that. But now we got the receiver.
Yes, we do.
Now we got the CD player.
Yes, we do.
Still got that old phonograph hooked to it. Got to get that new one.
Yes, we do.
Once we get that new one, we'll be really set up to go. And then you just got to get a tape deck and we can listen to cassettes. Oh my gosh.
Hey, listening to cassettes is good as long as they work.
2 boxes full of cassettes over there.
Yes, you do.
Of stuff from the 80s. And early 90s.
Yes.
And whatnot. At least we don't have no 8-track player. Even though 8-tracks are coming back, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Don't ask me why. I mean, that's the reason why like half the records or half the stuff I have on CD used to be on 8-track.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know which one I should have pulled up that we just we got at that last lot. I don't know. I guess we mentioned it, didn't we? The Crystal Gale.
Yes.
We got that new Crystal. Anyways, the Crystal Gale album that has "Don't Make My Brown Eyes Blue" on it.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we had that. My parents had that on 8-track.
Oh wow.
But again, like I said, 8-track sucked.
Yeah, no, because you could only put so many songs on an 8-track.
No, it wasn't even that. It was the fact that like there was that song by Oakridge Boys, "Fancy Free," where it fades out, just like 30 seconds into the song, it fades out, clicks the channel, fades back into the song.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean,
yeah, that was kind of annoying.
It was more than annoying. It was pain in the rear.
Well,
Trying to remember, this is a family-friendly podcast. This isn't all things Star Wars where we let loose. All right. Anyways, anything else you want to add?
Yes.
What?
Are you adding any moments, or are you talking
anything?
Okay. Well, are you going to mention that 50 album challenge?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so another YouTuber, channel 33 RPM, Frank, challenged everybody to listen to different albums instead of your normal go-tos. Like me, my go-tos are Motley Crue Girls album, Motley Crue Shout the Devil, a couple like Garth Brooks No Fences, Lila McCann's Lila album, but so he decided to challenge everybody to this 50 album challenge. Well, he did it with records, so I want us to do 100 album challenge because I want to do 50 records.
Okay.
Which is going to be pretty easy because most of those I've not listened to within the last 2 years.
No, because most of them are brand new.
But I also, because the CDs are not over here now, we do have this nice 1994 made Sony
CD player
that goes to a thingamajigger, a receiver, a home stereo system, and I want to do 50 CDs. I mean, there's definitely a lot of CDs in there I have not listened to in a long time. All I can say is thank goodness I don't have one that. Well, I do have one. Oh man, that better not come up.
What?
I don't want to hear Lion King at all. I'm just telling you, that is not being picked. I listened to that enough times from 90, whenever it was released, to 98, 99. I listened to that friggin' album enough that I don't have to hear it ever again in my life. Just saying.
That's okay. It won't come up. There's other albums.
Excuse me, what? You're not paying attention to the chat. You're supposed to be watching the chat.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do what?
I think she's commenting on your thing about the Lion King album.
No, we're done with the Lion King. There, bring the chat back up so I can see it.
So.
Bring it up here so you have to listen to it again. But like the Oliver and Company. See what else do I? What other ones do I have? Oh, Aristocat. Oh my gosh.
Yes, Aristocats. We've also got Tarzan, Mulan.
You know the reason? Like, I mean, Tarzan. You had.
Yes, I had Tarzan.
Mulan. I don't remember, but like all the ones I had, right, including the 3 McDonald's version ones that they released when I worked at McDonald's, were all bought for a child, from actually more than just one child. You know, more than one child, both of my children.
Yes.
You know, because you want to keep them listening to good music, besides having them listen to Motley Crue every once in a while. besides the one of them would like to unbuckle their car seat and flick on a amp, but we won't name no names.
No, we won't.
Anyways, so we got any other questions from the chat? Even though it says like one person in the chat.
No, there's no questions at all from the chat.
All right, well, while we're waiting, I guess always remember you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that little bell to be notified when we do upload new videos, because like I said, we continue to buy record lots. We continue to buy stuff at Goodwill. And honestly, you know what?
Yeah, that's right, LOL.
I can't wait until November.
Okay.
I cannot wait until November when something ships in November.
Oh, that's we just right.
Friggin' pre-order.
Yes, we'll have to let him know when it gets here.
Oh yeah, that's gonna stay.
It's gonna stay. We're not gonna reveal anything until we get it.
Well, besides the 3 box sets.
Yes, it's 3 box sets, but no more information is going to be revealed at this time.
15 albums.
I
don't remember how many CDs.
I don't either. So if you are curious on what we are talking about,
shit, you have to wait till November.
Wait till November.
Actually, no, you have to wait probably December before it gets here.
Okay. Wait till December and tune in to our podcast, and we will reveal what we are discussing about this 3-box set and more.
We just might have to take a half-year hiatus just to listen to it all.
We might.
All right. Anyways, I don't see any chat or anything. Any questions pulling up? So,
no.
First of all, I want to say thank you to my daughter for jumping in the chat, coming online, and always love her. Love my granddaughter, Brendan Lee, Little Miss B, who every time she sends me a photo of her and Little Miss B's got that look like early mom, another photo.
Yes, she does.
And I love it because she's like me. I hate photos.
Yes.
So anyways, I also love my son Colby. He's on the road, far as I knew last time I checked. Driving back from Denver.
Okay.
Let's see. I love locations. The only thing I love about iPhones, as they say, the Empire. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I better not do that. I might get copy striked.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Where is he at now? He's in Rawlins, Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
So he's moving along just fine. I get, what the hell? But must be like a truck stop or gas station or something.
I think it is. I think it's one of those truck stop gas stations.
Just don't have to worry about what the or hell being bad because it's really not bad.
No,
But
it's
anyways, so let's get out of here.
not. Okay.
Anyways, love both my kids. Love my grandson Lane, my granddaughter Bryn Lee. Love them all. Love my daughter Hannah and like I said, love Colby. And let's get the hell out of here.
Okay.
We'll start it.
In closing, we would like to thank you all for downloading this episode. If you are a new listener and haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button. If you subscribe, you will be notified when a new episode becomes available. Another way to help our podcast is by giving us a 5-star review. It will help new listeners find this show when they are looking for a new podcast to listen to. Also, you, our listeners, can share this show on your own media accounts.
Social media accounts.
On your own social media accounts to help spread the word
Hard to believe this.
about the podcast. Thanks again to all our current and longtime listeners and subscribers.
Used and Abused can be found on the following social media link or media platforms. Wow, I screwed that one up.
Twitter at Used Abused Pod.
Facebook at Used Abused Pod.
Tumblr, Used Abused Pod.
Instagram, Used and Abused Pod. Again, and is spelled out AND.
Email at usedandabusedpod@gmail.com. Again, and is spelled out AND.
On YouTube, you can search Used and Abused Pod. And you can spell out the and, or you can hit the little Shift 7 key, or whatever you do with your phone.
As always, all social media links will be included in the description of each and every episode. So you can always click on those links as well.
We can be found on the following podcast apps and directories:
Anchor,
iTunes,
Apple Podcasts,
Google Podcasts,
Google Play Music,
Pocket Cast,
Overcast,
Breaker,
Radio Public,
Castbox,
Spotify,
and TuneIn.
Please rate and review Used and Abused, a music podcast. Until next episode,
have a great weekend
and a great work week.
Be kind to everyone
and keep the music playing.
And we'll hit the stop button on that, but we're still live on YouTube. So if you're still here with us on YouTube, you can sit for a bit, I guess. Anyways, Hannah, if you're still listening, you guys have a safe time when y'all go back to work. I know it's sometime this week. Other than that, we didn't have a lot of people tune in, which whatever.
Yeah.
We'll give it another try. We'll do it again one time,
Yeah, and if you
we'll do it again sometime later, Friday night. Oh, you're back on nights? This is so riveting waiting for the freaking chat.
Oh, I know.
I think texting is easier.
Oh, I know it is. Yep.
Right,
she is back on nights on Friday.
Well, so is Colby.
Yeah, Colby is too. Yeah, that's right. They're both
on the same one.
Yeah, on the same crew.
All right. Anyways, well, this episode that you joined in on will drop on Friday because technically it is Friday's episode.
Yes.
So, anyways, y'all have a good night, I guess.
And if you
Hannah is.
Yes, and if you watch this, please give us either a thumbs up or a thumbs down in any comments.
Thumbs down. If you give a thumbs down, I'll come haunt your day. I'll come shoot. I won't do nothing.
And if you and just leave us comments on the episode and see what you liked about it.
I don't give a shit. You want to leave a comment, go ahead. If you don't, fuck you.
Well, it's just a suggestion.
Good thing this part ain't being recorded.
Yeah.
I'd have to edit that part out.
Yeah.
All right. So much for the family friendly part of the show.
Yeah.
Now we're to the uncensored part of it.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to close out?
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for those that are watching.
Let me shut this down. Why do I click?
End stream.